Hello everyone, super excited to be on this live today. I'm going to be joined by Julie King. She's an amazing breathwork teacher, facilitator. She's a part of the International Breathwork Healing Arts Foundation, and she's going to join us right now. We're going to be talking about the benefits of healing and play. Here she is, Julie. Hello, Myra. How are you? Welcome, everyone. Hi, Julie. How are you?
Hi, Michelle. Doing great. How are you doing?
Woohoo! I'm so grateful to be here, and I'm so grateful that you asked me to be a part of the International Breath Foundation live streams that you are all offering all around the world. So happy to be a part of that coming up, and thank you for having me.
Yes, we're very excited to have you on November 12th. And there's so many questions that a lot of us have, and maybe you can share a little bit about your story. And one of the major things I think would be for me is how did you become, what drove you to become this beautiful medicine woman that you are today? And how did you create your ALVA method? What inspired?
Oh, thank you. Well, for me, I had experienced the hurt, the pain of sexual trauma, having a traumatic first sexual experience, and then my father leaving when I was 14. And I talk about this a lot in my videos on my YouTube channel, Michelle Alva TV, and I became very sad and very shut down, and I feel I was depressed. I was depressing shame. I was raised Catholic. My family's from Peru. And I made up all these stories that I'm damaged goods. And definitely my breathing back then was very constricted, and my whole body just felt tight. And I journaled. I had diaries since I was 8 years old. And I have to say, I really think writing, journaling, and discovering yoga when I was 17 years old, I became a physical therapist, and I feel as though my connection with God was always strong, but I questioned where I stood with God when I lost my virginity so young, because I thought I had to be a virgin. And Virgin Mary was a big part of my life, and Jesus, and all the programming from Catholicism. So I feel as though there was something inside me that always wanted to know the truth. And I'm a seeker of truth. And this is why breathing, teaching people how to breathe with our diaphragm, teaching people play, how to come back to our play, how to heal. It's truth. It's truth for us to heal. It's truth for us to breathe in a way that is diaphragmatic. And I feel as though my intuition got developed from the more I would practice yoga, and just maybe my nature is to be intuitive also. I'm a Cancer. I feel a lot, and I was led to let go of the traditional physical therapy ways that I was trained in, to include in the work that I do our mindset, our energy, our sexuality, our love hormone, our healing hormone, singing, dancing, playing. I'm really grateful that I became a pediatric physical therapist right out of college when I was 22 years old. And so I got to learn how to play professionally and the benefits of play. And I feel as though that's a part of why it's just in me to be playful. And play is healing. And so, I said a lot right there. So.
Yes, no, thank you so much for sharing. That's beautiful. And how do you incorporate play work?
Well, there's some principles to play. So being curious, being spontaneous, going with the flow, not having, when we're just, for example, when we dance, we don't have rules necessarily. We're just being free. So I incorporate it through different activities, and I even use puppets at this point in the work. And that's how I incorporate it. So using the principles of play, where I am not above my clients, we're equals, and we can also take on roles. And so we can be our inner child. We can take on different ways that we want to feel and embody. So sometimes we want to be like a superhero, and amp up our confidence. And so using play, we can embody. See, many of us play different roles. Okay? Why not use these principles into our lives, not just into our healing sessions?
Absolutely. And maybe share a little bit about your 3E breath as well. That would be great.
Yeah, so what I find is when we feel, so a lot of people come to work with me that feel disconnected. They feel they're in pain. They feel like they're accomplished and overachievers, but they're missing something. Or, I work a lot with sexual healing, people's sexuality, they're holding sexual shame. And so if you think about it, when we disconnect from a part of us, our sexuality is a massive part of us. So for us to have shame around our sexuality, or if it had trauma around our sexuality, it makes us constrict. It makes us close down. When we're in shame, we the typical, we're ashamed of something, we're hiding, so we're gonna contract. And I was inspired to create this E3 breath, which stands for extension, expansion, and elongation. E3, extension, expansion, elongation, where we are embodying expansion of our bodies, our arms, our legs, the head moving away from the center, but then we're also expanding our breath, and we're learning how to feel elongated, how to take up our space, and how to richly receive oxygen from nature. And so people get to learn how to feel intimacy with nature. It's not just a breathing exercise, it's an intimacy with nature exercise that we also do it laying down, laying on the hands of our creator. It's a spiritual exercise. And so from the breath, we can create this ritual to deepen our connection to creator. We can create more of a grounded root chakra feeling. We can turn off our adrenal glands. And with this one breathing experience, exercise, the E3 breath, it can become a metaphor for choosing a life of love and support, rather than
being closed up.
freezing, fleeing, tensing up, closing down, which is fear. When we have chronic fear, when we stay in that, fear is not a negative thing. It's when we stay in that fear mode and we don't know how to snap out of it. So the E3 breath is a tool I use in all my workshops with all my clients, phone sessions, in person. Everybody learns that. And I have videos on Michelle Alva TV to teach people that.
Right. So when I attended workshops, I really loved how to incorporate the E3 breath with chakra affirmation verbs as well. So I think that really something spectacular, because it's kind of a triple healing at the same time. So you're doing the breath work, you're also doing affirmations, and you're also channeling into each chakra with those affirmations. And of course, because we're being conscious of what we're doing at that moment, we're aligning to our chakra system. And I really enjoyed that. And so how did you came up with that, or did it just naturally, intuitively came to you?
Well, I mean, I'm very intuitive, and I just listen to my inner guidance. This is what, I'm not in my head about the work that I do at this point. I think in the beginning, when I was a physical therapist, we learned so many modalities. The modality today is about surrendering to the healing technology within us. So my desire has been to pursue, how do we really heal? What does healing mean? And how can we shift our physiology? How can we really kick ass in healing? If somebody wants to heal, come see me. If you want to do the deeper work, people tell me, Michelle, I feel like I was on an ayahuasca journey. And so I said, well, you were on an ALVA journey.
Right.
And and people have actually said that to me. I feel like I've been on an ayahuasca journey. And so here's the thing. It's not me. We all have an inner medicine woman. We have inner medicine within us. We have the technology within us. All I'm doing is aligning the environment in the room and in the space of yourself to receive the medicine, receive the healing. It's already happening all the time. You know, when we get a cut, you don't have to say, oh, you know, I cut myself here. Okay, skin, take over, you know, please close that out. Your body is right away, the minute something happens, and it's probably even before it happens because we have precognition, your body is constantly wishing, designing, you know, this beautiful healing for you. But if you hate your thighs, if you hate yourself, if you have resentment, criticism, judgment, blame, anger, guilt, shame, if you're holding all these emotions and these beliefs in your body, your healing system, the level of healing hormone is not going to be high. You're going to have a lot of cortisol, stress hormone. So your body's healing abilities are going to be dampened. And that's why people, I feel, don't know how to heal, which in reality they are healing, but their mental, their mindset, which causes their physicality, is not supporting the healing that wishes to happen. So sometimes people will just talk to me on the phone and I am just oozing with love. I really love so much. And I think you can feel it, right? People just put a little heart there if you feel the love. And sometimes people start to cry and they just say, wow, I just told you so many things. And they don't even know me on the clarity calls. So I offer these 30-minute clarity calls and they say, I feel like you get me. I feel like you're not judging me. I hear this a lot with my male clients where they're like, wow, you know, I wish I could talk to my partner like this, or I wish I could share with somebody about these things that I'm going through. And I have really made it my life mission to embody love and self-acceptance of myself, because I know that how I feel about myself is gonna make everybody feel the same coming out of me, how I feel about myself. So if I'm going to be teaching healing, I better be pretty whole, some level of wholeness, right? And if people are going to want to, you know, process and release emotions in my space, they're going to probably feel if I feel loved within myself.
Absolutely.
So I think that's important when people work with me. It's not bullshit, you know, this is it. This is the truth.
Definitely see through the bullshit when you come in and the facilitation is not really full together. That's for sure. And having that space, holding that space of love and security is very important to keep that container. And what I also really love about you is that you come with knowledge of science. It's not just like, oh, I went to a couple of workshops, I just got certified in breath work, and boom, I'm a breath worker. That's it, and I started doing workshops. There's a lot of those happening, and part of what National Breathwork Foundation does deep research through science and how science affects breathing and our body and our healing hormone, and also balancing serotonin, balancing cortisol, and bringing out the oxytocin. So it's very important for us also to have someone come into our workshops who knows not just the healing and spiritual aspect, but who also understands the science behind it. And that's why I love you so much, because I really appreciate you and honor you for your work, because you come in with deeper knowledge. It's not just something, oh, I heard it over here or I heard over here. And one of the other things I'd like to ask you is, I'm curious, how did you start studying with Joe Dispenza, and what brought you there? Maybe
Dr.
just
Dispenza? Yeah, so I think it was when I saw The Secret. Dr. Joe Dispenza was in The Secret, and I think this was like 20 years ago. I mean, it was a long time ago. I started yoga when I was 17 years old. I used to sit, I remember being like 14, 13, 12. I mean, I've always been curious about the mind and I really believe, I mean, I know this might sound crazy, but I believe we can do anything we set our mind to.
You're
And I
great.
believe that we can. I mean, I'm 49 and I feel like I'm 28. I don't dye my hair. There's no Botox on this face. There's no fake anything in me. I definitely have blush today, some mascara, but I'm running high on oxytocin all day. I don't drink alcohol. I don't do drugs. You know, I'm here. I'm here. And for a lot of us, that's really challenging. And so Dr. Joe Dispenza, I love him because he's all about tapping into our innate technology. And I've been a seeker for the longest time. And, you know, since The Secret, that movie, I was very empowered. I was very excited, even more. And I just wanted to learn everything I could from the greatest teachers on the planet. So I've been to a lot of the Bruce Lipton, Greg Braden, Joe Dispenza, the Louise Hay conferences. I used to go to many of those Hay House conferences when they had them. I've just been a sponge for learning and doing those long 1 hour meditations. And I love how he teaches us to say, what do I wish to create? And to feel the space around our body. So for me, I integrate the languaging. I became a neuro-linguistic programming practitioner and a hypnotist and a mindset coach and learning about time-life dynamics. So I haven't just studied with Joe Dispenza. Like I have trainings in mindset. I am a mindset coach. But to me, the Joe Dispenza week-long training really immersed me in the neuroscience of why we're doing this. And then the experience, those long meditations, the walking meditations, going into this theta gamma brainwave state where we're no longer Michelle Alva, the physical therapist. You know, we're limited by all our labels and all our trainings. So I actually love the E3 breath, you know, expanding beyond my body and getting in touch with the space of my body, but also acknowledging that I am in a body, even though it's only 0.00001% of what I am. But I love integrating the principles of that, but also Psych-K, you know, as a form of energy psychology, brain balancing, how to turn off the amygdala, Stephen Kotler, you know, the flow state. There's so many tantra. I mean, it's really all these different teachers over the past 27 years of my life that my intuition, the alchemy, the alchemist within me has been guided. Like I love using the drum. I love using the crystal bowls. I recently purchased this 2-foot Himalayan bowl. If you want to take a look down here, it's my
Pictures. Yes, you were
I
showing.
stand in it every morning and I look at the ocean. You know, I look at my view here. It's so beautiful. I mean, this is my life that I've created, co-created with the divine. So I want people to be inspired. My life, I don't want it to be wasted. Like I used to have chronic pain in my genitals, and I used to have a lot of loneliness, sadness, daddy abandonment, seeking men, trying to get my approval of myself in other people. And so I've learned to be a sovereign woman. I just have a good time by myself. I don't need to be, you know, anything. I'm enough. And I just, you know, my plan is to keep on sharing. And this is a part of it, is being a part of the International Breath Foundation. And I love that you all love science. I'm really excited to bring this medicine, our inner medicine awakening. And so thank you so much. I can't wait till Saturday, November 12th at 12 p.m. Eastern time. Power of healing and play, and coming from this breath work, breath practice perspective, getting connected to the science of healing and play. So I'm grateful. Thank you for having me. And I invite everybody to join us November 12th. The link is in my link tree, and I know you guys have it also. And let's all turn on the globe. You know, online we get to do this class, and let's get all turned on to being more playful, to being more connected to the science of healing and our breath.
Yes, so we're very excited to have you. So again, it's coming up November 12th. If you visit the IVF Breathing Heart, the link is in the bio. You can sign up today, register. It is by donation, but it is free. So if you're willing to just come in and experience this incredible woman presenting herself, presenting her gift, holding a beautiful container of love, space for you to do self-healing, to be guided, whatever it needs to be channeled, please join us. You're going to love it. I promise you. I've been to her workshops. She's incredible, and I'm really honored to have you there with us. And thank you so much for this. It's so beautiful to get to know you a little bit more and a little bit closer and a more intimate level. And I wish you a fantastic day and everybody who joined
Thank
us.
you, Julie. And I want to thank you also, you know, people, just to let everyone know, just the message that wants to come through is that you are powerful. And many of us have missed out on play. We've missed out on the freedom that comes from exploring our environment freely with curiosity. And so on Saturday, November 12th at 12 p.m. Eastern Time, we are going to reconnect. We're going to get down and get into that animal nature and revitalize ourselves together. And I'm so happy you're going to be there too, Julie. So reach out to us if you want to learn more. And I'm so happy that we got to do this together.
Me
Thank
too,
you.
Michelle. Bye.
Mwah. Bye, everyone.